welcome back. Thanks for checking out this video. I really do appreciate it. Hope you're having a fantastic day. The Indiana Fever just secured victory number 4 for the season. Let's talk about it. The good, okay? They started out great. They were hitting shots. Aaliyah Boston had overall a very good game. Mitchell overall had a very good game. I even saw her get the ball to Clark coming off a screen for a 3. However, there are some problems that we're going to have to talk about as well, unfortunately. So Boston still needs to set some better picks. She set a couple of good ones tonight. I thought early the picks being set were much better. It looks like that's something they emphasized in practice. But then there were still times where it was a little bit going through the motion. Smith set some solid screens. Unfortunately, she got into foul trouble. Ball movement was decent in the first half. However, we're going to get into some of the problems that I see that are going to cause problems going forward, especially against better teams. It's going to really have them struggle to have any type of consistency. Again, great first quarter, right? 30. What was the final? 91-84. 33 points came in the first quarter. The second quarter was okay. They played well enough to keep a decent lead. They got up as many as 18, and then they find themselves down late in the game because they still do not have an offense. The Dream did not play very good defense. The Fever were knocking down shots early in the game. However, second half, Mitchell scoreless until free throws with 5:16 to go. And I'm not necessarily blaming her. I think she played well. I don't She forced some shots I didn't like, but that's what it's going to be. But I mean, she wasn't playing poorly. It was just the way the game was being played. Shots that were going in early weren't going in later. It happens to shooters, right? It happens to all shooters, which is the point I'm getting to. Boston also scoreless in the second half until less than 5 to go. She got a great pass from Clark that put them up 3. And I believe if it wasn't 2 more consecutive possessions, it was 2 of the next 3 possessions were the same thing. I mean, Clark and Boston combined for 3 buckets very quickly in there, with Caitlin Clark doing a great job of creating with her dribble to get the ball to Boston in a good spot, and Boston did a great job of finishing. So they were both fantastic in that. Here's the problem with that. Caitlin Clark is not involved in this offense at all. Whatever this offense is, Caitlin Clark's not a part of it. She could not be on the court as she was for too long in that second quarter, and you wouldn't notice it except when all those other shots stop falling. Then the offense becomes, hey, Caitlin, dribble around and make something positive happen. That's what shifted in the fourth quarter when the Dream came back. Now it's Caitlin dribble around and make something happen. The rest of us are going to stand around. Well, Boston's going to bust her butt in the paint to get established good position. Like I said, I'm going to give Boston a lot of credit for tonight. I think picks have to be better, but I think overall, I think she played really well tonight. I think she was physical in the paint in terms of establishing her position. So when that ball got in there, she was in a good position to get layups, and she finished most of them. There were a couple I would have liked to have back from close to the rim, but you're always going to want that, right? When you get down that deep. But again, in the second half, she was scoreless until under 5 to go. She picked up 6 quick points, all from Caitlin Clark off the dribble, getting the ball to her. And it was both of them. So I'm not taking away from Boston. I'm complaining that there is no offense. And when shots aren't falling for this team, they're in a lot of trouble because either they keep doing that and the shots don't fall, or like I said, if you watch that game, all of a sudden the Dream are winning after the Fever blow an 18-point lead because they can't make shots anymore. And it became Caitlin dribble around, make a play. Caitlin dribble around and make a play. Caitlin Clark did not have nearly enough shot attempts. She did not have the ball enough in her hands. Picked up 6 assists. But again, you could watch a lot of that game and not know Caitlin Clark's on the team by design, by the non offense. I'm looking for the word to describe it because it isn't really an offense. I mean, there's nothing to it other than shoot the ball. And in the first half, the Dream let players stay wide open and they shot the ball and they went in. In the second half, not so much, which is why you had the problems until late in the game when you had Clark dribble around and make plays. And that's no way for the team to be effective. That's no way for Caitlin Clark to be effective. You're putting her in a position to fail. And by the way, that's it. I mean, Mitchell had a great play there late when it was trouble when she Dream got a rebound and then she stole the pass, the outlet pass on that, and had a great finish at the basket. I probably would have liked to see her pull it out because the shot clock had reset. They really could have, because there was under a minute left. I think there were like 40 seconds left. They could have killed another 24 seconds, but great steal and great finish. So overall, solid win. It really was a solid win overall. But again, the same issues are still there and when you play better competition, you're going to see them. Now, speaking of playing better competition, I want to end with this because they got the win tonight. Great win. Going forward, this looks good. Now, this was going into tonight. Their strength of schedule had been the hardest in the league, tied for the most games played, tied for the most road games played. The remaining schedule, third easiest. Games played, tied for the fewest. Road games left, tied for the fewest. And I think where did I see it? I think they showed their number. This surprised me. I didn't realize this. If I can find it. Ooh, yeah. Over half of their defeats have come against the top two teams in the league, the Sun and the Liberty. I didn't realize it was over half. I know they had played them both multiple times. But wow, I didn't realize that it was half of them. So yeah, so great start transitioning into an easier schedule. A lot of good things, but I'm also seeing the things that haven't changed that are going to be a problem when they're not making shots like that. That are going to be a problem when Boston isn't playing her best game of the season or she's not making as many of those shots. So good win. They still have things to change, which at this point I just don't think they're going to change. I think the Fever need to trade Caitlin Clark, let her go to a team where they're going to take her strengths and maximize them. Because right now she's basically the Fever drafted her, so they would get a lot of fans to their games, but she's not part of the offense of that team. She's not part of it by design. So that's a bummer. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Am I being a little too tough? Do you agree? Did you like what you saw from the whole team? Do you see the same problems that I saw going forward that kind of get glossed over when a team wins? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Really would appreciate it. It really helps out a lot. And I will talk to you later.